Hi, welcome to Coffee with Blaine. This is coffee. I am Blaine. This is Coffee with Blaine. In case you're wondering why I have not one but two cups of coffee, uh, let me walk you through my reasoning because it's fun. Jesse, good morning. How you doing? Um, I like to make a pre cup of coffee before I start the show. So official with an intro. I know. I know. So I drink my pre cup of coffee, and then I'm ready to go, and then I make one for the show. Well, I woke up a little bit late. We had a little bit of technical issues, and I got my pre cup of coffee, and I didn't get a chance to finish it before my second cup. Because I'm in a separate area from the coffee station, I either have to like wait till it's done and then run and then go and do all the things or whatever. But this time I was like, well, why don't I just make a second cup and then bring it down with me, so when I finish one, I can just do the honors of jumping into the next one. So I now currently have two cups of coffee, more like one and a quarter, really, but two physical cups. So that's you see me switch out midway through. That's what we're doing. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Justin. Good morning, Angie. Thank you for making it. I know you've been excited to try to make it, Angie. So thank you. So we have an interview today. We're going to be talking with my buddy Anthony. It's going to be a really, really good time. But I did want to take a second and just do a quick unboxing because somebody sent me something cool. I got this package today. It's soft. And I figured I'd do that real quick. Becky, good morning. Lindsay, good morning. Karina, good morning. Let's find out what's in this package real quick. Oh, all right, all right. I see you. Bam. That is one dope ass button down. And it's like we got is that an alien head? That's definitely an alien head. Hell yeah. Loving it. That's from my buddy Jamming on Vegas. Super dope stuff. These are his cards. Even his cards are super trippy. I love it. Probably the best tie dye I've seen in my entire life. So, JAMMINON.com, jamminon.com. Jammin on Vegas. Oh, awesome stuff. All right. Joe Dirt's 2K. Good morning. Heck yeah. Put it on. I will be wearing that for some shows. Definitely. All right, so we got that out of the way. Now let's just jump in. I know we're running behind anyway, but that's okay. That's the beauty of the live stream game. So without further ado, this is Anthony from Island Asylum. Boop.
What's up, man?
Welcome. How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. Good to see you. I'm trying to hide this window here. I don't want to be backstage anymore. Now I'm on the show, but I still see this backstage window. I can't get rid of it. That's all right. We'll power through it.
we will be making it.
It disappeared on its own. I just had to leave it be.
Just let it be, bro. Let it be. So, why are you here?
I am here because I had a song come out a couple days ago, and another one like a month and a half before that, and probably another one in like a month, and then every month forever. Just kidding.
Hell yeah, I love that. You have a song that just came out. You had a song that just came out about a month ago, and you have perpetual songs coming through every month. How many songs do you have lined out and ready to go?
Uh, Lined out and ready to go, as in 100% they're done. I'm not messing with them anymore. 10. It's going to be a 10-song album. Actually, the first track will be split into 2 tracks, so I don't get jammed up on the playlist because there's like a crazy intro. Um, so it'll be 11 songs, and they're done and ready to go at this point. And about a quarter of the way through album 2.
Nice, like that. Um, let me see. A little intro blurb here that I wrote for my description. I said we will be asking the hard-hitting questions like why and how. So I think we covered when. I think we might have basically covered why, but how? How is this possible? How are you releasing so much music?
Well, I've been working on this record for like 2.5 years now. So that's how. um, all of these songs have been through a ton of different revisions, and finally at the place where I feel they're good enough to be released. And I didn't want to run into a situation where I hit writer's block or something, and then I have nothing to put out. As it's all about these algorithms nowadays, and if I go too long between releases, I'll get left in the dust. So I wanted to make sure there was no way that was going to happen. So I wanted to make sure I had enough in the tank, so to speak.
Nice, man. Nice. All right. And are there more? Who? What? Where? Where are you?
Where? Okay, I'm in Florida, about an hour south of Tampa. It's a cool little area. I'm about a half hour from a lot of cool stuff. St. Pete is a big reggae town, and that's only about a half hour, 40 minutes away. Um, you know, then I got Tampa and Sarasota, and there's a little scene happening here, so it's pretty cool. I kind of wish I was in St. Pete. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm close enough.
Oh yeah. So when you say a scene, um, for anyone who has heard your first single and your latest single, you they might notice that they might not be sure which scene you're talking about because you're doing a little genre bending here. So before we get into that, though, let's take a moment and let's just roll through some of these comments. Lindsay says, "Hi, Anthony. Juan Bond 85. Good morning. Good morning to you. Cheers."
What up?
Let's see. Lindsay, because he makes fucking dope music. I agree. Jesse replying to Lindsay, I cringe at me being on video. Yeah, it's weird being on video. I feel super awkward when I'm on camera. That's from Becky. Jesse, and I forgot we were on camera. Coffee with Blaine was tough. Yeah, it's definitely it's weird being on camera. We're gonna get into that more. DK, good morning, and she is stoked. Kaylin, good morning, and Jesse says, "Where are you from?" That's not a Florida accent. Let's go with that question. And I look at this fanciness. I can bring it up on the screen like a pro.
That is beautiful, Blaine. Yeah, so the Florida, I'm starting to speak like a Floridian a little bit. I've been in Florida about 6 years now, but I'm originally from Long Island, New York. Um, so when you hear me say words like coffee, and it comes out a bit more. But yeah, but I'm pretty much full blown Floridian now. I wear a jacket when it's 70 degrees and shit, so I'm I'm almost there.
Heck yeah. So, let's move on to the next one. All this technology. I need a someone to just operate all this shit back behind the scenes so I can just focus on the interview. Karina, what up, my dude? And feel free to reply to these as they come up as well.
What up?
I hear that Long Island. Hell yeah. Okay. Woo! Why are you releasing this music? Why are you making this music? Why are you No. See, this is why I don't do interviews. Let's go back to
question, but
right.
Whatever.
Fuck that question. Next question.
It was a good question.
No, previous question. I should say. You were talking about the scene. What scene are you talking about? Because your music is a blend. First of all, let's describe the blend of your music, and I'm gonna let you describe your personal view on what the music, on the sound.
Sure. So these first two tracks are, I would say they're a pretty equal blend of grunge and reggae. A lot of people are saying they sort of feel like I'm taking them back to the '90s a little bit, and I'm okay with that. It does kind of have that sound. The scene I'm talking about is the reggae scene, and the reason I'm sort of gravitating towards that scene rather than the rock scene right away is it sort of just took over my life, a bunch of years back. And to be honest, it's just a lot nicer of a place to release music. I don't know if you've ever looked at some of the metal publications. If you ever look at a Blabbermouth article or a Loudwire article, the comment section is just it's just horrible. It's rough, man. It's a horrible place. You release a song and people are like, I wish you would die rather than release more music in the comments. And it's like, man, I'm not ready for that. Like I just, everybody in the reggae scene's really, really nice and has been super nice so far. So that's why I've gravitated that way, because it is an equal hybrid so far. But that's just on those two tracks. You'll hear more of a metal influence and even like a '90s hip hop influence on some of the rest of the tracks that I'll be releasing.
Nice. So the reggae scene is the group of people that you most identify with, even though your music isn't that per se.
Yeah, right now that's for sure. I definitely came up a metalhead, and still am a metalhead at heart, but no, it's been all reggae for me lately.
Heck yeah. Jesse says talk about the Crazy Fire video. So you have a music video out for your first song. Never Let It Go is the title, the full title, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good. I'm so used to hearing the outro of that song that plays every time I think of that song. That outro plays, and I'm like, oh, is it the entire phrase or is it part of the phrase? The title. Sorry. Go. Why don't you? Do exactly what you're doing and describe the thing without me interrupting you.
I'll go into it. Sure. I knew I knew I wanted the video to be dark because the song is kind of dark. It's a love song, but it's definitely a dark love song, and the music is kind of dark and trippy. So I knew I wanted to do a nighttime video, which is not the easiest way to go by any stretch, because you got to mess around with lights and things like that. And I knew I wanted the dancer to tie in and for there to be sort of an unexplained history between us. And the funny thing is, she might show up in future Island Asylum videos. I might be connecting future Island Asylum videos to previous ones. I told you, Blaine, I'm going to try to George Lucas this thing and retcon some stuff. And I think one of the next videos is going to act as a prequel to that one, which I'm pretty excited about. But yeah, back to the Never Let It Go video. Yeah, I just kind of wanted a dark, gritty, performance-based video, mostly performance, and some subliminal stuff thrown in there too.
Heck yeah, man. That's dope. Yeah. Oh yeah. So connecting videos, right? That's something that you don't necessarily see a lot. Everything in today's music output marketplace, if you will. The focus, because thank you Spotify, is all about the single. So artists are releasing single after single, and I feel like that's changing the work to tell shorter, smaller stories. I feel like that's also in conjunction with things like TikTok and Instagram stories and stuff like that, where people get little bites and tastes of stuff rather than a full explained immersive thing. So I feel like artists start creating with that smaller mindset rather than an overarching mindset, and it's really cool that you're gonna be taking these singles and like connecting themes throughout them, so it you can kind of get that sense of in games they call it world building, or in movies they call it world building. And that's dope,
it's
man.
tough.
I like that.
It's tough to try to do both, right? Because it's the old head in me. Like, nah, I want an album. I want a whole album to listen to front to back. I want a slew of videos to to immerse in for a half hour or longer. But I'm trying to do it in a way where I don't get killed, because you gotta evolve with the times. So I'm trying to make it so that the singles make sense on their own, the videos make sense on their own. Like when you're trying to tie movies together, you better make sure it's a good movie first before you create this universe, right? Marvel got it right, DC kind of blew it. So I want to try to do that, and I don't know. We'll see if it works out. It's about making a good video first. If I could tie them in, awesome. I'm going to try to, though. I think I'm going to.
Heck yeah, I love it. You just need post-credit scenes. I think that's the
Yep.
kicker right there. Let's go through a couple of these comments here. Thank you guys so much for all chiming in. You guys know how horrible I am with the comments when it's interview time. Somebody choking, or a dog choking, or a horse choking.
What?
I don't know. 1 second. We'll see. I don't know. Kaylin, I hope everything is all right. I had to call the vet. Horse choked. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's no good. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's always a bummer. Hopefully everything is resolved. I don't know if you can give a horse the Heimlich maneuver or what, but hopefully it's something that can be fixed like that easily, not like having to go through and do a surgery or anything. Brother Scat, good morning. Let's see.
What up?
Chug that haterade, Anthony. That's just Lindsay dishing out the haterade. She's definitely good at
Bada's
that.
in that video we were just talking about.
Who is?
I said Bada's in that video we were just talking about.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Playing bass.
Yes. Hell yeah.
You guys will get to know each other.
Oh yeah. I'm so it's so hard with Instagram and Facebook names and stuff like that and connecting faces to them unless it's like a clearly defined profile. Positive vibes into this genre of music. Yeah, that's exactly. Everybody is so supportive in the reggae scene. And they're especially of music from other scenes just making their way in. It was so beautiful and professionally done. Very cool video and song. I agree. You did a really good work. You had some trouble getting on the editing floor, if I remember correctly, to get that video out, right?
Yeah. I'm not seeing the comments you're seeing, by the way. I'm like they're kind of frozen, just so you know. But yeah, that well, thank you for saying that. Yeah, Kurt did a really good job editing that video. Yeah, there's some technical issues, but when does that shit not happen?
Right, right.
So it might not have been, the 100% the video that we thought it was going to be, but who gives a shit? What are you going to do, right?
Hell
Came
yeah.
out good enough.
That's that's the attitude to have right there. I mean, if you're going to be putting out consistent stuff, you got to be growing and learning as you do, and at a certain point, what is done, and it's good. Like not everything can be your magnum opus all the time. You want something that's clear, defined, concise, and just perfectly imperfect. With the comments, I actually scrolled back. I have a separate bar for scrolling way back through the comments. So you're just seeing the current ones up there as they come up. When did this mix of genres click? Was there a moment? There we go. Was there a moment or a gradual process where your sound developed? That's a great question, Lindsay. Very insightful.
Great question. It clicked pretty natural for me just because of what my background was in music. And I think it really clicked for me when I went to my first reggae rise up. I saw, some bands were kind of sort of flirting with metal and grunge a little bit. And I really started thinking, okay, well, what can I do that's not already being done by any of these, 20 plus bands? Because I didn't want to do something that's already out there or anything close to anything out there really. And I'm like, well, how can I do that? And the answer was to go heavier. And at first I was afraid to go heavier. Blaine, if you notice in a lot of the reference tracks I send you, I'm almost afraid to turn that distortion all the way up. And then when you send me tracks back, you're like, no, F that. We're going full send on this. So yeah, it was natural for me. And I kind of just felt like as I was there, I'm like, it would be really cool if there was a crazy group here. There's no one here that's fucking crazy. I like crazy people. I like crazy things. I like when things look wild. When I envision Island Asylum to be the band at the festival that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense that they're there. You might not be there to see them. You might be walking to the other stage, and out of the corner of your eye, you just see us, and we look a little off. And you say to yourself, I think there's something wrong with those guys. But that sounds kind of cool. I'm going to go over there. That's my vision for this project. I want to be, we'll say, like the Rob Zombie of reggae, if you will.
I like it because that means that I can be John 5. Speaking of me, I for those of you who aren't aware, which would probably be close to none, I play on your recordings. Go ahead and yes, go ahead and describe what I do and how fucking awful it is. Go.
Sure. So here's what we do, right? I write the tune and I mix it and basically get it to sound like elevator music. But the tune is there. There's a solid structure and a good tune somewhere in this mess. Then I work usually with Kurt over at Third Island, and we get it to a point where I feel comfortable enough sending it to someone like Blaine. And at that point, I know that a lot of what I do is going to be replaced. The heart and soul of the song will remain the same, but I'm not going into it saying, you know, this is going to be the best guitar part or guitar lead. Like, I know I want a guitar lead here. Here's a general idea for it, but I know what Blaine is going to do is going to completely destroy it. So I don't hold on to anything too tight in my songs, and then I send it to Blaine, and essentially I say, you know, once Blaine agrees that he has something to bring to the song, I say, all right, catch you when I catch you. Work on it when you work on it, and if it's back in a week, it's back in a week. If it's back in 6 months, it's back in 6 months, because there can be no timelines on art. Shit doesn't work that way, especially when you want the best out of someone. It can't work that way. And then Blaine sends me back a wall of sound. And the funny thing is, out of all the tracks that he's worked on, and he's on, I believe, 8 of the 10 tracks in some capacity, there's only been one time where I didn't do exactly what Blaine did in the track. And that was one time when I took what he did and I copied and pasted it to another part of the song. So I did it twice. That was the only time and there's one 7-string guitar I couldn't get rid of in a song coming out soon. This drop tune 7-string guitars. The song's absolutely bananas. But yeah, I send it to Blaine, and what I get back is just ridiculous. And I actually have a question for you on that note.
Yeah, let's flip this around. What do we got? What do we got?
My question to you is if you have ever scored TV or music before. And if you haven't, is that in your list of things that you'd like to get into?
Yeah, I'd love to. That sounds awesome. I have such musical ADD. I just want to be working on projects all the time. And every type of music, every genre, every reason for music is a new adventure, if you will. And scoring is one that I haven't done, but would absolutely love to do. Just because I like the idea of trying to capture emotions and you know, it's a great way when you're pairing with visuals to you have a reference to how to keep the emotional. Like when we're doing a song or when I'm like tracking for a song, I'm like listening to the lyrics, the general vibe of what there is, and I'm trying to craft that musical journey.
We can tell.
In the imagination, but like having a direct visual, I think would be a really cool representation. Now I've done music for done some like stock. I've done a couple holiday themes. I've done music for podcast intros and stuff like that, but never like to a TV show or a movie.
The reason I asked that question is because specifically on Never Let It Go, the first single, I didn't tell you anything about that song. I didn't tell you a general theme. I didn't send you the lyrics. When you sent me those guitar parts back, I was like, did he just like reach into my heart and like, what the hell is this? Like, and even in the song, the lyric goes, and it feels like, and then Blaine's guitar does what it feels like. And sorry, I'm just bragging about you. But
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
you should score movies. Same kind of
Heck
thing
yeah.
with the emotional aspect.
Yeah, you get me the gig, man, and I do it. We'll split the cash. So speaking of kind of that, uh, working with Anthony on my end is really really cool because I believe this is one of the first instances of me recording bass that has been on an actual release. And to which, when you kind of came to me with the idea, um, I went out and I bought a 5-string bass just to make sure that I did the recordings justice. And then, when as you were getting more and more, in, as the songs kept getting progressively heavier and heavier, especially the new ones, guys, like the ones coming out now are basically going to get progressively heavier, but the ones coming out after this string are insanely heavy and infinitely more Island Asylum-y. I went and I bought a 7-string guitar specifically just to track parts for the project. And if I keep working with you, I'm gonna have a whole new freaking studio just to keep up with the awesome imagination that you have and the creativity. We're gonna pause real quick. We're gonna roll through some comments so I don't. Rose, good morning. Appreciate you. Good point on the singles changing the story that used to be projects or concept albums. Personally, enjoy the connection when artists can continue to do both. I like the asylum scape concept. People's attention spans are too short. Heather, good morning. How are you? Um, yeah, man. Sorry I didn't recognize you, Butterscott. Yeah, I suck with the whole name thing, but it's good to thank you for joining us, and maybe we'll get you on here to chat too. Um, hope your horse gets better. Yeah, definitely hope your horse gets better. When's the next music video coming out? Let's pull that one up real quick.
Um, I the lyric video is coming out Friday, and then the music video is set to premiere the Friday after that.
Nice, love it. And this is a great question too, and let's dive into a little more on this because it seems to be a great way to start. One thing I see in this genre, there are a lot of collaborations with other artists. Will Island Asylum have any future collabs? Well, in addition to collabing with me, Anthony, I'm not the only one that you collab with for instrumental tracks. So you guys may not necessarily know, but there are some heavy hitters literally on drums.
Yeah. So musically collaborating, I still like saying this out loud. Still feels weird, bro. But half of my album, the drums are done by Zebby from Tribal Seeds, and the other half of my album, the drums are done by Kevin Officer from Stick Figure. And again, saying that out loud is very weird, man. They, I mean, you guys already know, like they just absolute leviathans at what they do, and they brought it, man. They brought it, and that all happened pretty cool how it happened. Pretty natural progression, you know. Started a relationship online with those guys, and just sort of morphed into this thing where you know, Kevin moved a half hour away, and the studio's in equal distance of 20 minutes between both of us. So it just at the right time, at the exact time that I needed more drums, Kevin moved like a half hour away. and we had been talking online, and I had done some drum lessons with him at one time. I was foolish enough to think that I could play drums on the album, and I'm so glad, so freaking glad that I didn't. Um, and yeah, and then as far as other collaborations go on the album, I have a track with the one Bada Scott. That's a really fun 90s hip hop track. There's still, that reggae flair in there, but yeah, it's mostly like a 90s rap track. And then there's a track with One Culture on the album. One Culture is Kurt, who mixed like 80% of the record. He has his own band, and we put a really cool track together. I'm excited about that one. And then future collabs, hell yeah. I know that's a big part of the game these days, and I have my goals. I have my eyes set on a few people that I would really, really love to collaborate with. Don't know if I'll be able to get them, but I'm gonna try.
Hell yeah. I love that, man. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, putting the people in to do what they do best is the easiest way to translate that music over. So you mentioned Kurt. Is Kurt the guitar player on this current single? It's so
Yes.
hard for me to keep track. Well, hit me with the lineup of this current single.
Sure. So the current single is mixed and produced by Kurt over at Third Island. He is also the one behind the guitar leads in this song. Most of the guitar leads, like the three main guitar solos, are Kurt's. I built the rest of the song. Well, I shouldn't say I built the rest of the song. This song is weird, and I didn't want to release this song until like the third or even fourth single, but scheduling, and I had the music video ready to go already. This needed to come out now. The song is weird. I started by ripping off a guitar part that I wrote 100 years ago for a project that never took off, and that's the na 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 na. And I just kept messing around with that. I'm like, where can I fit that into something? And then I don't know when exactly it happened, but if there's any musicians watching, you have that moment where you realize you're totally ripping something off, and you have to have that moment with yourself. And that's what happened here. About a quarter of the way through putting the song together, I realized, oh, no wonder I really like this. This has kind of sort of been done before. So this song is sort of a rendition of a rendition. And eventually I wound up feeling like, okay, I have something to say myself on this. This is different enough from each of the two predecessors that, maybe I could put this out. I still wasn't confident enough. So for those that don't know, Stick Figure has a song called So Good. And that song sort of borrows from a Tears for Fears song from the 80s, right? So Keep It in the Sun borrows equally from both of those songs. The Stick Figure influence is undeniable, but then the somberness of the Tears for Fears. So you'll notice at the outro of the song, I shout both of those songs out. And that was the only way I could feel comfortable releasing it, was if I shouted those two songs out. And then obviously getting Kevin to play drums, I'm like, well, that's about as close to a sign off as I'm going to get. So I finally felt okay with releasing the thing. I'm not really about covers and borrowing, but this one, I just kept going with it, and I couldn't stop.
Yeah, I mean, well, good artists borrow and great artists steal. That is the thing. No one lives in a vacuum. No one's creating something original. Even the most original thing I've ever created is an amalgamation ripoff of like 5 different things. and that's just what life is. Anyone who says that is lying to you. because
kidding.
yeah, no one originality is just repackaging things, unique perspective, and does it all the time. I do it all the time. Everyone does it all the time. The ones who you think are profound are just stealing from stuff you don't recognize. Sublime was really good at stealing obscure reggae tunes that no one else knew existed, and they got this huge originality kick. And now there's a whole playlist dedicated to all the songs that Sublime directly ripped from. But it's awesome, and I love it because they're bringing attention and they're bringing those sounds to a new audience, and they're doing it in a creative blend sort of way. So I wouldn't feel bad unless you're directly like, and even if you're directly sampling something or using or whatever, it's still okay because as long as you're not blatantly trying to cover up the fact that you're
as long as you give credit where it's due, man. I go back to there was this Ice-T interview that I saw, and you know the 99 Problems song, you probably know it as a Jay-Z song. It's not. It was an Ice-T song, and he said the only thing that pissed him off was that Jay-Z never shouted him out, never said in any interviews that I got this from T. So that's why I was like, all right, if I do the shout out at the end, I should be okay, because Ice-T told me it was okay. And
I mean that's and hip hop is sample culture. That's they brought early West Coast hip hop brought in an entirely new audience to Parliament Funkadelic. And they're most sampled band ever. At least they were, and it brought all the awareness and brought a resurgence in that funk song or that funk style. Let's keep rolling. So the lineup. Kevin is the drummer on this song, right?
On Keep It in the Sun, that's Kevin on drums, and that's Kurt on lead guitars, and then I guess it's pretty much me on everything else. This was the only track where the MIDI bass stayed, and that decision was basically I ran out of money and didn't want to do another remix.
Okay, so this one I'm not on, am I? I thought I had a bass line for this one.
This is the only song where I kept the MIDI bass.
Oh, okay.
It came down totally to budget. You're playing bass on every other song on the album besides the rap song, because that's all fake bass. And then I think you're on guitar on every other song on the album too, except the rap song.
Okay, I thought I played bass. I have a session for this one. That's why I thought I had played on this one. I have a Keep It in the Sun bass session in my folder. I just started it and then didn't record it.
No, it was dude, it was totally just I ran out of I had a hard budget that I passed, and then I passed it again, and then I passed it again, and then I passed it again, and then I passed it 3 more times. And with this song, I was like, I need to be done here, and I need to stop. I need to put a cork in it as far as budget goes. So that was the only song that you played bass on where the bass didn't make it to the final cut, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the take. It had nothing to do with the take or anything else other than just, holy crap! I gotta stop. I gotta stop spending money, and that's.
Yeah, no worries. I was curious because I look back. We've done so many tracks, and Like originally when I was posting up to promote it, I was like, oh yeah, I played on this, and I made a little Patreon post. For those Patreon members who saw the very first post, I had put down that I played guitar and bass because I I thought at the moment, because it was before I took a listen to figure out which tune it is. I know the tunes by hearing them, not so much by the names. And then like I went through my sessions and I saw the bass session. I was like, oh, I must have just played bass on this one. And okay, so now that makes even more sense.
That's the last time that'll happen.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Just I get easily confused.
Well, you're working on about 37,000 songs at once, man. It happens, I guess, right?
Yeah. But that being said, that's kind of the beauty of the project, is you can kind of filter different things in depending on what the individual song needs, because you're not necessarily in one genre or in one sound even per se from song to song. So that's cool. See, we're all learning here today, guys. A bunch of comments. We're gonna run through some of these.
I'm still learning how to make a record remotely, man. That was a trip in itself, bro. I'm used to 5, bros and ladies, and/or ladies getting together in a studio and figuring it all out together. This remote stuff, it's I mean, thank God I wouldn't have been able to work with anyone that I worked with on the album without it. But the learning curve was quite the trip.
Yeah, it's a totally different world. I was actually geeking out because I had an actual in-person session on Friday, and I was like, I get to go into a studio and record. This is weird. This is super weird. And I know for drums, it's a little bit different, like because it's harder to do remote work for a lot of drummers. But I think Zeb is doing his stuff remote, but Kevin is local, so that makes sense.
Yeah. With Kevin, we drove down to Bay Sound Studios right in Sarasota here, and the stuff that Zeb did, he was able to do from Tribal Studios out in California.
Hell yeah. Everyone steals from the Beatles, from Rose. And just to add to that, the Beatles stole from countless blues artists and the Beach Boys. And then the Beach Boys stole from the Beatles. Yay. I don't know if it was intentional, but that melody you mentioned also reminds me of the old lady singing at the end of Metallica's The Memory Remains.
I did not think of that. That's pretty funny.
Right? Zach Kearney. Yeah.
Sorry.
Hell yeah. Excited for the 12th of February. Heck yeah. What's on the 12th of February?
What are you doing February 12th, Blaine? What do you got going on?
Some assholes flying me across the country. Yes, we're shooting some. I don't even know what you just asked me to do stuff, and I do it without having an idea what it is. We're shooting 2 music videos in one day. Is that the 3 music videos in one day?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
you said yes. You said yes already, bro.
That's amazing. So let's unpack this live because walk me through what we're doing throughout this.
Right on. So I'm kind of big on I want the aesthetic to look like how it would have looked if everybody was playing their stuff. So I'm not really interested in doing a music video on certain songs without having you play lead guitar, or you know, Kevin is playing drums on the record. Like, why wouldn't I try to get him in the videos? So it's not always easy to get everyone together, as we all, you know, live in different states and stuff. But if we can get together, why not knock out 3 of them in a day? I mean, I got to try to save as much money as I can. You know, I'm just a dude with a 9 to 5, you know, so to get everybody together at once is the hardest part. Flights involved and stuff. So the way I saw it was like, okay, I mainly need you guys for the performance scenes of the video. So let's shoot 3 of those. I mean, that's attainable. That's an attainable goal. And then I could shoot the rest of the stuff at another time, whether it's later that day or some other time. So, yeah, it's about getting the Avengers together and getting as much done as possible with the time that I have with them.
Hell yeah. I think that's great. So I'm going to need 3 outfits. You're going to have to help me pick out my shirts.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, we got, yeah.
You got to dress me like
it's going to be a funny
dolls.
change. It's going to be a funny change because one of these songs is super like poppy and light. And then one is like the hardest, I don't know, it's the heaviest reggae song I've ever heard in my life.
What yeah, what songs are we shooting videos for?
So we're gonna do Wake Up, and then we're gonna do BDBE, which I really got to come up with a name for that song.
Why don't you just call it that?
Maybe. And then we're gonna do this one's different, which is like, you know, it's super soft.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
But I gotta try to make $1, so that song's got to come out as a single, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Do I? No. Okay.
Teaming up with the folks at Nature Studios for this shoot, and we're lucky enough to be able to shoot it on this compound where essentially there's, you know, 3 very different backdrops. So it will look like 3 totally different places, totally different shoots, but you know, we're going to be on the same property, which is really, really nice and necessary because we don't have that much time.
Hell yeah. I want to jump way ahead. And do you mind if I play just a tiny clip of the track that I'm currently working on for you? Like 20
Go for
seconds, 10 seconds. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So you guys have heard the first single, and if you haven't, shame on you. And the new one that just came out as well. And you can see how they're lighter songs just in general. The vibe is a lighter vibe. It is heavier than reggae, but it's not like super heavy. I just want to give you the tiniest bit of where this is going. So this is a tiny clip. Let me bring this in here from my Dropbox for the newest single that or the newest single for one that you probably won't even hear for a year. But this is where it's going, and I'm really excited. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
got to stop it before these silly vocals.
Oh, I was planning on cutting it right before the vocals for sure.
Thank you.
But yeah, and honestly, that bass is super, super bloated. It's just a quick demo. I actually have to record the bass, but the guitars are pretty solid. That's all with that. First song I've ever recorded with a 7-string, so I'm really excited about that one. But you guys can definitely hear kind of the direction that Island Asylum is kind of finding its core sound, and I love that. Hell yeah, man. So we're coming up to the end of the session, so we're gonna go through and do all the. What's up, Tara? We're gonna do all of the fun plugs and excited. Look at me by myself type of things. So I know you hate promoting yourself, which yeah, it's super awkward and super hard to do. But I just want you to pretend that you're shilling someone else, because you kind of are. Your music is not only your art is not only bringing in, or hopefully will be bringing in some revenue to yourself, but you're also supporting a lot of other artists in the process with these collaborations, myself included. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm doing collabs is I like to envision it from the point that I'm helping out everyone else, because I am, and I like to focus on that. You know what I mean? When I'm promoting myself.
It's a great way to think about it. That's a good way to view it, because you're not wrong. I mean, that's you are doing those things. So
yeah. So
I dig it.
With that in mind, how can people support Island Asylum? How can people support all of the artists that you're currently employing with this project?
Sure. The easiest way right now is just to listen and watch the videos, and if you're digging it, share it with as many people as you can. There's no real merch yet. There's no live shows yet, but there will be. And really that all stems from if people like the music enough and if they're listening enough. So, if you want to see merch and if you want to see us play out, keep streaming and keep sharing, please.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to help. And,
nice.
And thank you to the people that already are. Like, I know I've told you guys already, but that touches my heart. Thank you guys for listening already.
Heck yeah. And where can people find your music and your online presence at?
Everywhere. Just search Island Asylum, every platform. We're there. You'll find us.
Heck yeah. So you have Facebook /Island Asylum. You have Island Asylum at Instagram. Do you have a Twitter?
Yep. I do, but I'm not really on there much yet.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter much either. I just have it.
Same with TikTok. I have one, but I'm not really on it yet.
And YouTube?
Yeah, same thing. Island Asylum.
Nice. Spotify, Pandora, all the things, right?
Spotify, Pandora, anywhere where you listen to music, find Island Asylum.
I love that. Make sure to go give follows. If you're already involved, you already listening, hit up a couple of those platforms, because the numbers really, really matter. It's weird to say that, but the numbers matter. So if you dig it, go on Instagram, give a like, go on Facebook and give a like. That means the world to people who are creating art.
Thank
really
you.
does.
Lindsay posted the link if anyone doesn't know where we are. Thank you, Lindsay.
The link tree. Yes, that's perfect. Thank you, Lindsay. You're awesome. Anything else you'd like to say before we before we bounce out, we're going to be having you back because you have a lot of singles, and there are a couple of them I'm like BDBE. I'm really fucking excited about. So,
Awesome. Yeah, I already can't wait to come back. I'll leave you with just another thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching the video. You know, there's more coming. And thank you to Blaine for making me sound good.
Oh, dude, you sound great as is, man. Thank you for the opportunity to do something extremely fun and creative, and scratch those musical muscles I haven't in a long time. So, everyone, go follow Island Asylum on whatever your preferred platforms are, and if you like it, share it with people you think might like it as well. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks again for coming out, Anthony, and we'll chat a little later today. You guys have a great day. Make sure to share some love.